that best to pull it back. Who's going to down behind the goal door in the default blast spot. There's a free fire to a wall. They know someone's close, but unfortunately Ghost doesn't guarantee it. Styles! Oh, no, but it was brilliantly played.
This is a will shut down a mission. Right now, this defence is falling apart. Raff, he gets out the tape. He's trying to...
Hey, what's up, people? So this is going to be an interesting match between Kira Esports and Daimo. So qualifiers match for the South APAC, and I guess both of the teams are actually ready to give it all so that they could secure the sweet spot and represent the nation. It's going to be really interesting as after a long time, I'm seeing an Oregon being played instead of a Clubhouse, which I see repeatedly, and the bans are coming in from both the teams. The attackers, Ace and Blackbeard are removed, and we see Vamai is also being taken down by the attacking team, which is Kira. So pretty interesting bans coming as of now. And the last ban, it's going to be a Mira, a powerful operator as far as Oregon is concerned. Even before the map was reworked, Mira was a good pick for Oregon. And even with the rework, there is a lot of plays that could involve Mira. And it's going to be pretty interesting ban. So the defender, but then it's coming up from the defenders. So they must have some ideas in their mind in order to make sure that they don't face it a bit problematic when they go on to the defensive rounds. So let's see how the first round is going to unveil. And we could see a pretty common lineup taken up by the attackers, as the only hard breacher is going to be a Hibana. And to remind you guys, Thatcher is in play. So Weebster is going to be playing Thatcher to remove all the electrification and the Mujammers. So that's going to be pretty interesting. And to correct myself, I don't see any electrifying operators being picked up by the defenders as of now, and the only denial is Mute. And we could see a Legion being picked up, as he is one of, I should say, a good entry denial operator. And with the patch that came recently, Melusi lost her T5 SMG. That was a bit problematic for the Melusi players, but still, it's a solid gun that you can use, but not going to be flexible anymore, as she was with the T5. And let's see, you still lose your movement speed, you still hear that irritating noise in your head, and that's going to be a lot of distractions going on. So the attackers must fight through it. So it's going to be problematic. The defenders are going for the 2F hole first as of now, and I'm going to leave the mic for my co-caster right here, who has few things to say.
Speaking of Melusi, losing the T5 for the MP5, it seems to be a good choice. I guess to some degree, this is the balancing by UB for us. In the meantime, the setup is coming up for bedroom. They set up a shield with an elbow behind it to contest anybody pushing through the bedroom door. In the meantime, looking at the attackers, they seem to have spawned everybody from construction. The defenders are still very busy setting up in Attic. Attic is being played by Legion.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Attic is pretty safe if you hold it with a Legion, and if you have a Melusi gadget there, it's going to be a bit helpful. But I'm not quite sure if the defenders have put the gadget over there. But Legion could be able to make sure that he has the pressure set onto Attic, and if the attackers are going to push in through, they have to make sure that they are going to be stepping onto some serious problems, and they have to make sure that they don't lose the hit counts when they are trying to push Attic. As you can see, Ash is clearing all the barbed wires in white stairs, so it's going to be pretty interesting. Is the push going to be coming up from white stairs and Attic? If the attackers are going to go for that push, then that should be a bit advantageous for the attackers as of now. And still a minute, we don't see any picks taken down by each of the teams. So yeah,
it's a very bold push to come through white stairs just straight up like that without any contesting. Goes for a wide pick, hold in the broken Canadian angle, but still he loses the Canadian white stairs hold again.
Yeah, we see 2 picks taken down, and the attackers and the defenders are on even grounds. But the defenders are at a bit of a HP disadvantage, as Mute has lost a bit of his HP during the engagement. But I should say Levy was a bit unfortunate lying down in white stairs. He wasn't able to. I don't know if to put it on the T5 that because that's a point that he lost the T5, or.
He accidentally shot a Melusi. He accidentally shot a Melusi and slowly still trying to push up, trying to go for the engagement at the breach. But no, he's still gonna hold on to the white stairs. Top white, still holding on. There's still a player holding on to Freezer. He's unable. He's pushing through the rotate. He takes down Elbow. He pushes on in. But no, there was another guy who was cutting him across from white. Oh, the plant is happening. The plant is happening right at the window. They are unable to stop it. Did they get the planter? They did. 40 seconds save. They still need to contest the attacker outside. But no. He's going for the long defuse. He's going in, but no, he stopped. With a few HP remaining, he still manages to clutch it out. He had full health, full control of the entire situation. That was very well played by Detamar.
Yeah, and a really good play by Rattler in this particular round. He was able to take down 3 kills for himself and he was able to establish the side control for the attackers pretty quickly. But a poor defuse spot coming in from the attackers as they decided to plant near the window, but the defenders weren't able to take down that plant. And I should say whatever, because Tamar was positioned
he accidentally shot a Melusi.
I should say an advantageous position, because even if you try to long arm, I think it's safe to say that the attackers will have an angle to take the
There's still a player holding on to Freezer. He's unable. He's pushing through the rotate. He takes down
Rattler there, and the defenders must come up with some other idea in order to defend the 2F side. But as of now, they go into the laundry and supply room hold. The basement hold without the Mira, it's going to be pretty interesting, because the Mira would play a bit of an intimidation factor for the attackers, as they won't have that confidence to push in the side. What do you think about it?
Yeah, that's true. I see like a lot of preference going for Elo by Notorious. At the same time, they are pushing on in. They're going for a full ROM. Is it a semi-ROM with a cup card being played? This is very interesting. The last second pushes are going to be ruined by Capcans. Most of the time, there isn't enough time to look at the utility, look for defenders at the same time, looking for Capcan traps.
Yeah, to be honest, even in Pro League plays, we have seen a lot of time when the Capcan gadget is pretty annoying for even good and well-experienced players. So he is something who is going to be annoying during the last second push for the attackers. As we could see, these days the meta has shifted towards the last 20-second meta. So at that point of time, if you don't know where those cheeky Capcan traps are, then the attackers are going to lose a chunk of HP. They're going to be disoriented for a bit. Their sound cues are going to be cut off. So they must be watching out for it. 20 seconds into the round, and the attackers are trying to take control of tower side. And we could see Alibi playing an aggressive shield towards the construction. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see what Alibi has up her sleeves.
And it's not just the Alibi. Did you notice the Jaeger also put out his Jaeger devices right outside the shield? The shield. So they won't be able to really contest this straight up. They'll be eating up a big chunk of these explosive utilities. But it should be very interesting.
Yeah, to be honest, that's going to be a lot of utility being dumped onto clearing the Alibi there. So I don't think the attackers are going for the construction push. They're going for the tower stairs. So they should be pretty interesting. As Alibi, she has only one option to go into side. She's a bit trapped here. A good decision by the attackers not to push the shield, because they know that they have to clear a lot of ADSs, which means that they'll be looking for a lot of utility. You could see Ash droning in for her teammates, going in for the information on towards the side. As we could see, Jaeger is being hit. He loses a lot of HP, but he's still going to be on for his team. The flash is coming out from the Ash, but unfortunately not going to hit or successfully blind anyone. She's coming in for the white peak, successfully gets the kill onto Melusi. The attackers are at an advantage now, going in for the second one. Jaeger is lucky today, I should say, because he has missed the second encounter, something that he should have not survived. But I think it's safe to say Rattler is on a go in this particular matchup. As we could see, he has taken 4 kills already for his team, going on to the pre-fire on towards the side through the unbarricaded wall. And it's going to be really interesting. 1 minute remaining on the clock, and the attackers are on an advantage with their numbers. It's a 5v4, and Jaeger is also very low in his HP. So he has to make sure that he hits the crucial headshots to make sure that he doesn't lose his life.
It's interesting because they lost the heads and they are forced to peel back. They are unable to hold positions. They are forced to play further back. Meanwhile, Hiban is putting on into bunks, cutting off Freezer by Capital. Let's see if they're gonna get ball. Oh, there was Kapka takes down. Who was that? Ash through Freezer, I guess. Yes.
Yeah, the Ash is taken down, and the Thatcher runs in widely into sight, and he gets taken down by Notorious. Sniper gets one onto Detamar, and almost immediately the attackers are losing numbers right now, and it's pretty unfortunate for them. And the defenders will be able to take the site easily into control. As you could see, Notorious gets the second kill onto the round onto Rats. Well played by the defenders there initially, even when they had a disadvantage against them. But somehow they were able to make sure that the round falls into their hand. Poorly played by the Thatcher there, as he wasn't able to see the player sitting towards the right. I think that's a pretty common place where the defenders would place themselves during the last the Ash is taken down, and the Thatcher runs in widely into sight, and he gets taken down by Notorious. Sniper gets one onto Detamar, and almost immediately the attackers are losing numbers right now. It's very unfortunate for them. Yeah, it was unfortunate for the defenders because it's able to score at the end of the day, and I don't think that he should have blindly run into side. Maybe he didn't have the information. Pretty unfortunate there for the attackers. Kira Esports weren't able to take this round into their hands as it fell into the hands of the defenders. Going on to the third round, we see the defenders going for the bedroom hold again. Will it be successful this time, or is it going to be falling into the hands of Kira against? My apologies. So let's see how this round is going to be played. I think it's safe to say the defenders are sticking with the same lineup for every single round.
That's a good way to actually throw them off. They will not know which side they are going to be committed to. But the setup seems to be the same, with a shield playing in the middle of Bear, and in the meantime an Alibi near the bedroom mattress. Seems to be pretty generic. They seem to be following a pattern here.
I'm quite confused why Deimos is sticking with the Alibi pick. Do you have any idea why Alibi is being consistently picked for almost the third round?
She has a decent gun. She has an okay gadget. Maybe for the impacts, I'm not exactly sure. Let's see. So far, we have seen... Maybe it's to prevent an Amaru rush. Who knows? with the G2 Tempra being played.
I know, that was pretty interesting. Tempera was on a roll against G2, and that was a really good match. Really good match. So we are 30 seconds into the round, and the attackers are trying to take control from the side of Armory, I guess. And I don't think they're going to try pushing up white stairs this time. As we could see, the defenders haven't taken a Melusi this time. They have gone for a Valkyrie. They still have the C4 in their hands, and Valkyrie has a cameras. So that's going to be information coming in for the defenders. Pretty crucial information, and that's going to be run out from Armory, and that's going to be nullified by a Vim as the Sophia cleanly takes the kill onto Bandit. Pretty unfortunate there, but I should say that Bandit should have had the advantage because he had the MP7. Goes onto the pre-fire, loses a bit of his HP, but still Zofia is in his hand. Zofia gets taken down by the Alibi, I suppose. Yes, it's the Alibi. Notorious gets the kill onto a Vim, and it's a 4v4. Good trades coming in from the attackers and the defenders, and we are still at 1 minute 40 seconds remaining on to the clock. As we could see Hibana going in for the breach on Games Room, and I guess it's a Game Room plan this time, but let's see how it's going to be unfolding. As we could see Alibi being trapped inside Game Room, that's information is going to be transmitted to the attackers. The trades are coming in back and forth for the Alibi who is holding, and the Hibana is going to be taken down by the player holding Attic, and that's going to be Sniper 1, and the T5 SMG is going to take down the kill, and that's the Legion. I should say the T5 is, it's safe to say the T5 is still one of the best defended guns that you could play, even if it has a pretty low attack damage, but still it has the fire rate to compensate.
They still haven't run out of hard breaches. Capital is running a hard breach. This is one of the little changes that they have made to the quality of life, which means even if you lose your hard breaches, dedicated hard breaches, you still have a chance to fight back.
Yeah, even if it's not that advantageous, you still are able to enter into Attic, so might as well.
Alright, they took a ton of damage through the angle being held by Alibi. Alibi got taken down, yeah? Yes, she did get taken down. They're slowly pushing into the breach, but unable to push through as well. This has defended a little bit harder than Luther. And Legion cleans up from Attic. Pushes out, I guess. Pushed out, yes, he pushed out from Attic. Into Attic, actually.
Yeah, he used the rotation into his favor. He was able to play a bit good for the defenders in the previous round, and I should say it seemed pretty fair, as within the first minute we saw Bandit running out of Armory, and Zofia was able to take her down. And Zofia went into the pre-fire. She was trying to take down the Alibi, but thanks to Alibi's quick rate of fire, she was able to win that battle, and that even things up for both of the teams. And initially it turned out that the round would go into the favor of the attackers, but unfortunately the Legion was there to deny the site control for the attackers. He played really well that previous round. He was able to take down the player the Hibana who peeked onto the breach, and and at the last second he was able to finish the round off by clearing the last player. Well played by Demos Force this previous round, and we are going to see a kitchen hold for the fourth round, and that's a pretty interesting site. Verticality, yes, this site includes verticality, so most of the teams do set up in Attic, and they have rotation set onto the kids' dorms. As we could see, the Vigil already is onto it, so it's going to be pretty interesting, as it's not going to be a one-dimensional push coming in by the attackers, as they have to make sure that they clear the defenders from 2F first. They have to take control of 2F, and then they have to take control of the site and go for the plant. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how the attackers are going to split, which operators are going to go for the 2F control, and we're going to stick for the site control and go for the plant.
Very interesting, as this is a kitchen dining defense, but they have decided to extend into meeting and hold on to meeting as well. Let's see how this turns out, as Hibana was 6-picked off, and instead we are getting a Thermite. I wonder why they decided Thermite would be a better option here instead. Coming into Attic, trying to get controls, trying to see if they could push in, but no, they are unable to do so. They're going to go for meeting control first. But would they be spending as much resources to take control of meeting? Bandit is already there trying to trick. They're gonna be wasted resource for them. Would it be
not
wasted,
only resource, the attackers are going to be losing much of their time too. But as we could see, the attackers are almost immediately they are pushing down tower stairs to clear anyone who's holding the meeting site. but they're still going to go for the Thatcher EMP and trying to take down the attic wall. And I guess it's successfully taken down. The C4 goes in from the bandit. I am not sure the attackers are able to hear the noise of the C4, but if the bandit is able to take down at least even one of the attackers, it's going to be a bit problematic. And no one is fortunately being damaged by that C4. As we could see, the control is coming in for the attackers here. I shouldn't say that they are able to take the control as of now, as they are trying to find it a bit difficult to clear the bandit. We could see the yellow ping coming in from the attackers. I'm not quite sure if bandit is aware of that. But yeah, finally he sees the drone and takes the drone out. So
that was pretty good, actually. Bennett was expecting an epic push, but they decided to hold back. Wait until we get enough information before pushing in. Meanwhile, Vigil is holding on to Etic, but they're pushing through Etic. Thatcher is already near the last hit. Oh, Thermite is picking the bridge. Thermite is actually deciding to push through into the side. But no, Thermite got taken down. During the push,
falling pretty bad in the hands of the attackers as of now, as they have lost 2 men and Detamar is already injured. So it's a 2v5 situation as of now. As Ratter is scrambling, he's trying to take the control of the fight. He's trying to take the defender who's holding, I should say, trophy. He's trying to take this, pick up his fellow teammate, and he's going to be able to successfully do that, throwing flashes onto Attic. And we're going to be seeing a 3v3 all of a sudden, and still the Zofia is going to be at a pretty low HP. Rattler is on a pretty low HP. Detamar is on a pretty low HP. It's going to be pretty problematic for the attackers right now, because just a few bullets is going to make quick work of them. As I could say, Snow makes quick work of Detamar. Snow gets another one onto Rattler, but the plant goes down. It's a 1v3 situation. Zofia is nowhere near the plant, but she has an angle onto the diffuser, I guess, but I'm not quite sure.
She does, but they're long arming it. She needs to use the concussion right now. Oh, she got one, but she didn't get it through. It got detonated before it hit.
Yeah, the concussion doesn't go through because there was a player in tower to bait it. That is, I don't know if the defenders did that wantedly or was it circumstantial. But to be honest, that was really well played, because the Vigil could have been concussed. But even if he got concussed, I think it's safe to say that he still had all the time to go for the defusal. And pretty well played by Daimos again, as we could see almost immediate frags coming in from both teams, and all of a sudden they're on a 3v3. But the attackers were at a really bad situation with their HP. The Valkyrie takes the guy on Attic, and she sees down. The plant was already down, and she was able to take the kill onto Rattler, leaving it all onto the hands of Zofia. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to clutch the round for the attackers, even if the situation was in a post plant. Well played by the defenders again, and I guess Kira have to step their game a little bit, as they need to make sure that they take a bit of quite a few rounds into their hands to make sure that they don't find it difficult when they go for the defensive side.
This is rather interesting. Frost has gotten a new secondary shotgun now, so she's able to make the rotates that previously forced onto a smoke or a mute. Oh, they are not bringing a smoke or mute this time. Instead, they have a Frost.
And that's actually pretty interesting. For the 4 rounds we didn't see, or including this round, it's 5. So we didn't see the defenders coming up for the smoke pick. Is that intentional or is that not intentional? I'm not pretty sure. But mind you guys, the Tachanka rework is going to be pretty problematic for all the smoke mains there, because he has a gun which could make rotations. He has a utility that could almost deny an entire site. And I'm not sure what the meta is going to be. If smoke is going to be neglected, or are we going to see smoke and Chanka being brought together? It's going to be pretty problematic for the attackers. I don't know what Ubisoft has in mind, giving those many fire incendiaries for Tachanka, making him, I should say Lord Tachanka is the apt nickname for him right now, because he seems a bit overpowered. But let's see how things unfold.
Meanwhile, are we seeing a Zofia pushing Freezer? I think slowly deciding to push down to Freezer. Yes, she is coming down Freezer stairs. Meanwhile, Thermite is trying to push into Bunk. Rex has been pretty unlucky so far. He hasn't really been able to get any frags, but he's able to get the breaches on. But with low intel or outdated intel, he's pushing with it.
Yeah, as a hard support for your team, you shouldn't be expecting to get much kills. But still, Rax has been a pretty pretty much unfortunate as he wasn't able to get anything onto his pocket. So let's see how the attackers are going to make use of this round. Are they going to win it, or is it going to fall into the defenders' hands once again? A minute and 40 seconds remaining. As we could see, the attackers have the control of the side of the floor above the site. It's going to be pretty interesting here as Rattler is going for the peak again onto the guy holding pillars. He won't be able to get. Frost is she took quite a bit of damage. As we could see, the Thermite Rats pushing in widely onto the blue bunker. He gets pushed back almost immediately. Sub 5 HP, I guess. That's not going to be working for you, brother.
Zofia has still been pushing, trying to get into freeze. It's been almost 2 minutes now. Zofia trying to push it, but Thermite decides to push in. But during the crossfire, yeah, Thermite gets the kill on Frost. Pillars is now clear. They should be able to push on in if they have the information for it.
The pings coming in from his teammates, and Rats goes in for the breach onto the side. I mean, not on the side, but this is going to be a part of the control. So if they don't have this opened up, they won't be able to go for the plan. So Thermite nearly missed Tacho's head. That would have been a team kill.
It's going to be a bendy trick? No, it's not a bendy trick. It's a disable. They are unable to trick this, but Alibi is going to hold on to it very aggressively, peek him, but he's unable. Oh, was it a trade? Was it a trade? Yes, indeed, it was a trade.
It was a trade.
It becomes a 4v3. 4v3. Meanwhile, holding on to Frieza is still Kaid, but Zofi is slowly pushing in, finally starting to make his engagement. Taking into Frieza. Kaid is unable to see anything, trying to peek into Pillars. Meanwhile, Pillars is being held on to by both Death, Amar, and Rattler. Comes in as default C4, misses, unable to see through.
Did Capito just walk in front of Kaid, and didn't Kaid look at Capito? I don't know if it's because of the smoke, but Zofia will make quick work of him, and all of a sudden Avim gets a double kill, and the second one on to Levy. I'm not quite sure how the second kill happened. Oh, maybe he downed Jaeger during the engagement. Oh no, Jaeger came in for the quick pick, but unfortunately, Avim was there for his team, dude.
Avim was there from the beginning, man. This is the fruit of his labor throughout the entire round. Actually, he's been pushing Frieza since the very beginning, and the concussions really paid off. Kaido was unable to place the C4 because he was unable to see through all the shiny little glimmers from the Zofia concussion.
I'm still quite unsure how Kaid was not able to take the skill onto Capitao, but unfortunate for the defenders there, as the post-plan situation kind of turned the tables in against their favor. So good round by Kira. They are able to take that round into their hands, and we are just 1 round away from half point. If Kira Esports are going to make use of this round 2, it's going to be a 3-3, and when they go into their defensive side of things, it's going to be pretty evened up for them. As defense in Oregon is pretty interesting.
This is the third time we are seeing this site, right?
Yeah, this is the third time, and almost a similar setup. And the Melusi is not being taken back again. It's going to be a Valkyrie. So the information and the C4 is going to be working pretty good for the defenders. As I should say, Deimos haven't changed their hold quite a bit. They are just sticking to the norms here.
But this is the last defense round as well, so we might not be seeing as much alibi from the opponent side. Let's see.
I'm not quite sure, dude. Victorious has been pretty interesting with the alibi, so he was able to take good picks thanks to her fire rate. But
this time it's Jaeger who is going to be aggressing the armory window. Zofia is going to repel on it as you saw. But Bandit, maybe this time they're going to go for a double run out. Let's see. Last time Bandit was really aggressive, decided to jump out, but Zofia decided to trade him off. She read the jump out perfect. The hatch was Bandit charged. They were intent. They plan to hold on to armory as hard as they can.
Yeah, the armory hole is coming in quite strong by the defenders. Not quite sure why, but the attackers, I guess, must have read it as of now. As we could see, the Capitao has placed his breaching gadget onto the attic wall. So yeah, that, you know what? It's like in a situation where the attackers don't need to rely on the hard breaches anymore. I shouldn't say it's safe that way, but as we are speaking, Rattler gets his skill onto Tsukishima, so that's going to be problematic for the defenders as they have lost the Jaeger.
At the end of the day, no utility lost, as Jaeger is, after he places his gadgets, just a gun.
Yeah, to be honest, no utility loss, correctly said by you dead. So, but still a man disadvantage to work with. I guess the defenders will be able to fight it, but let's see how it's going to be going in their favor, or is it going to be going against their favor? You could see
by pre-firing again and again, just Yeah, last time he managed to get Zofia off just to peek in the same angle twice again. But last time she had the alibi clones to help her. This time there is not. She's still holding on to it. Oh, it comes a vertical breach. That is Zofia. Thermite Mina trying to breach into the double panel games. Breaching, and alibi again decides to hold onto it pretty aggressively. But is she gonna push out? She is pushing out. She has gone into closet. Takes down Thermite, who was outside on balcony. Zofia isn't really watching. She decides to stick into closet. She's gonna hold on to it. If she pushes out, she should be able to take both Zophie and wait one more. I think she got the call out.
Oh, she's going to be pushing hard by Ash there. Unfortunately, Capita was holding an angle. He almost fired him too. So that's going to be pretty unfortunate for the alibi there. Well played by Rattler again with the another kill securing for his team. Capita with the upside down rappel gets a kill onto Lesion. That's going to be pretty interesting for the attackers now as Levi gets a kill onto Rattler. It's a 2v2. Capita goes for the smoke onto the side as he's struggling to take control, but Snow gets a kill onto Avim. It's problematic. The diffuser is down. Capita is still outside of sight. He has to secure the diffuser, or he needs to go for the frags. He needs to get both the defenders down in order to secure it. As he could speak, Detamar gets a kill onto Snow. It's a 1v1. The diffuser is still down. Is he going to go for the diffuser? No, he's not. He's pushing in for the defender, but Bandit is gonna be there for Deimos. Levi is gonna make sure that Amar is not gonna go on a roll. Well played by Amar there. The decision to push the defender and not go for the diffuser because there was just 6 seconds onto the clock. That's the good decision by Amar there. But unfortunately, Bandit had the high fire rate gun, and at the end of the day, he was there to make sure that the attackers are not going to clutch it. So that's it for the first half of the game, and Deimos are at a 2-round advantage. They're in a 2-round lead, and we could see Kira Esports going in for the defense and Deimos going in for the attack.
Is the clash going to be a bait? Is it going to be 6 pick-offs? Oh, it is a bait. Let's see. But Finka, they are planning to stick through with Finka. This is going to be very interesting. We have a smoke on the defender side as well, so it's going to be double damage if the smokes are put at the right time. Let's see.
To be honest, clash for a basement hold won't be that a bad idea because you could hold off the blue bunker pretty much confidently with the clash, and she could also play freezer almost amazingly. But they used it as a bait and went in for the Melusi, so that's going to be pretty interesting as we see a Goyo being taken by the defenders too. So Goyo and a smoke, so that's going to be problematic as you correctly said. If it's going to be paired up correctly, it's going to be problematic for the attackers. That's going to eat up a lot of their time and their utility in order to clear the shield.
10 seconds remaining.
Very interesting. They had decided to break the hatches to delay the time. Whenever attackers are droning into meeting, they'll be like, oh, meeting hatch is open. We need to clear the top down. We need to go for a full clear. And the drone gets pre-fired. 2 of them gets pre-fired. That's 2 intel gadgets that are missing from the attacker side. This is going to make things a little tougher for the attacker side, but that would be it. Comes in the drones, taking from here, and holding on to armory is Jaeger. Jaeger is on a short
Is it
row.
only me, or is the Finka pick a little bit confusing?
It is slightly confusing, but I guess you would be able to force your way through most of the gunfights, I guess.
Yeah, but the thing is, there is a smoke in play. So if you are boosted, then you're gonna breathe a lot of that noxious babe into your lungs, and that's gonna be more injurious than a cigarette. So let's see how the attackers are gonna be wary of it. I'm not quite sure what Finka is gonna be playing as a role or as a utility for the team. Detamar gets the kill onto Sniper 1. I am pretty sure the attackers didn't have the intel on the Jaeger who was holding from kitchen onto the tower aisle. So that's the first pick coming up onto the round as we can see the Thatcher taken down. The EMP grenades almost taken for the attackers, and Snow gets the kill onto Detamar. So it's a 4v4 right now. But unfortunately, the attackers have lost their EMP. I'm not quite sure how many of it was used by the Thatcher, but not anymore, dude.
None were used. That is so unfortunate. They won't be able to hard breach at all. This has to be a horizontal push. This has to be won by gunfights now. There's no other way. There's no Maverick on the board, just a Hibana and the Thermite.
That's pretty unfortunate. If they want to take down the denial, they have to somehow use the grenades. And I'm not quite sure how that's going to go. As we are speaking, the main lobby hatch is taken down. there isn't any denial for the main lobby hats. As we could see, they are trying to, as the attackers are trying to take control of the freezer. The Finka is trying to push in hard. She is going to use her grenade, but to be honest, I expected a Jaeger device to catch the grenade, but unfortunately it's not. So the Goyo shield is going to go down. The time is successfully wasted by the defenders here, as the attackers have only 45 seconds in their hand to take control of the site and to go for the plan and push it to a post-plan situation.
There's still one more Finka boost remaining, but she's still slowly pushing in through Freezer. She's trying to see if there's anybody in Freezer or trying to cross into Laundry. But nobody's holding. Everybody's holding onto their angles, and that's all they need to do. Meanwhile, Goyo pushes on in, takes the Hibana. That's an engagement in meeting. Pushing into pillars slowly into pillars. Here's the barbed wire. Melusi pre-fires, gets the Zofia, and peeks into the hallway. They know one player is playing near main stairs. But no, Thermite decides to come from the back. Takes down Melusi, takes down one more player. It's a 1v1, pushing into closet, and gets the kill. And Smoke actually managed to trade it out. Reckler, very well played. Actually managed to clutch the round for them. Almost would have fallen if the Thermite didn't actually push through the pillars. That was very well played by Thermite.
Yeah, really well played. It was a 1v3 situation. Almost instantaneously, it was a 1v1. But unfortunately, Thermite was in a really low magazine count. The bullets in his magazine was really low. As he went onto his push, he tried to get the smoke. I expected the smoke to switch to a shotgun because the closer range the shotgun is going to be dealing a lot of damage. But still, the SMG-11, crazy rate of fire. And at a close range, I don't think you even need to ADS that weapon. So he secures the kill for his team. Unfortunately for Thermite, he didn't have enough bullets to secure the kill onto the smoke. Well played, well tried by the Thermite player there last round, but unfortunately, Kira Esports were able to take it into their hands.
That was probably a bad call because everybody was focusing on the front. Meanwhile, Zofia and Thermite are both at the back. I wonder why they decided to go for the for a front hold. Not front hold, they were peeking it very aggressively. But yes, at the end of the day, the round was won, and then we are moving on to kids again.
It's going to be a kids hold coming in by the defenders. So let's see how Kira Esports are going to be holding this time. Pretty standard lineup for 2F, as we could see the same smoke, as we see a smoke, a Jaeger, a mute, and a Valkyrie being taken into the play. I guess both the SAS defenders are playing the shotgun, so that's going to be pretty problematic. And yep, the Veepso with the Maestro pick, that's also going to be pretty annoying for the attackers, but good defenders pick, a good pick coming in by the defensive team, as we could also see the attackers going in for the pretty standard lineup with the Thermite, the Finka, the Hibana. I'm quite unsure what role is Finka playing in for the attackers, but they should definitely be having some strategy up their sleeves for the Finka, so let's see.
It's a slow push, slow running, trying to make sure that they have proper intel this time before they push on through. Last time, Jaeger was able to peek them and get the first frag on Thatcher. Trying to avoid any unfortunate circumstances this time. Yellow pings the Jaeger because she heard a noise from there, but she doesn't know which operator is playing. Gives the garage call, garage clear call, armory clear call, so they are pretty much free to take the entire estate. Hibana decides to slowly push on in, but by herself. This could prove to... Oh, Jaeger is being assisted by Valkyrie, who is playing from all the way below, near Freezer stairs. This has to move on towards the jump control.
A good positioning coming in by Kira Esports here, as we could see not even a pick being taken down by either of the teams. A minute and 40 seconds remaining on the clock. The attackers should be trying to take control of the side or somehow get ready or prepare themselves for the engage. But I don't quite see the attackers are positioning to take control. I guess the attic wall is open, but it's a minute and 20 seconds remaining. They have to take this down. They have to increase their speed a bit. We hear the Hibana pellets going up somewhere. I'm not quite sure where that is. I think the main wall is taken down. So that's going to be an attic and a bedroom, a games push. But Snowy is going to take the first kill of the round onto Rattler. Rattler was playing a bit aggressive for Kira Esports, and he is taken down. So is that going to be advantageous or not? Let's see how it's going to be unfolding. It's a 4v5 situation for the defenders. The flash goes down.
Oh no, here comes the C4. No C4. Yes, here comes the C4 and miss. Almost had it. But
Yeah,
they
the
did
Thermite-
manage to push the attackers off attic. They are forced to play real stage now. 2 attackers are holding on. But no, she decides to peek towards the camera. I wonder why.
I don't have an idea why Valkyrie decides to peek the camera, but pretty unfortunate there. The C4 getting missed. I think it's safe to say that she was a bit frustrated that she wasn't able to secure a kill onto the C4, or she might have thought that she has injured and trying to take the kill. But I'm still unsure what happened there. As we could see, Tsukishima gets the kill onto Avim, and he gets the second one onto Rats, securing the round for Deimos again. Going a bit unfavorable for Kira as of now. They should be changing their strategies a bit in order to secure this particular map.
I think it was played okay, but it's just that the prayer C for the throw and pray, right? That didn't really work out. He was really expecting to catch someone. But I guess they let go of Etty Control a little too soon, and Snow was on the window, right? Yeah, she was replaying the kids' window. She managed to take down one defender, bringing the main count in their favor. In the meantime, Thermite managed to push through Attic, despite the C4 being missed. And Valkyrie was panicking. But yes, they could have had the round, but it was a very well played round from Deimos.
I'm quite unsure why Valkyrie would go for the wrong pick at the wrong time, but I don't know what was going on in her head, and I don't want to pin the entire round on the single Valkyrie. So well played by the attackers there. As we could see, the defenders are going in for what I think it's going to be a retribution, as they are going for the bedroom the kids hold again. Are they going to successfully be able to hold it off? I'm not quite sure. And this time we see this almost a similar lineup coming in by the defenders, but no Maestro this time, as that's going to be swapped up by Elysian. That should be a wise choice for the defenders, as the Lesion's gadget is going to be used for a maximum potential in a 2F the site hold, as far as I'm concerned, more than any other site in Oregon. Maybe the basement, but Lesion is going to be pretty staple for the kids and the kids in Games Room hold.
Yeah, you're actually pretty right, but I think this is mainly to counter the Finca. They have been engaging players who are boosted beyond anything normal that you would encounter in a siege game. Therefore, maybe to cut down, the Legion Minds are able to cancel out the Finca boosts. So maybe to make the engagement slightly easier, they're going to put it at choke points. Trying to see if they can get a pick. Jaeger is still hoping to run into Thatcher again, hopefully. Trying to see if he can get an early pick by peeking aggressively into hallway, trying to deny the garage push. But smartly decides to fall back. But he's not falling back. He's going to hold on to Z hallway.
Yeah, I think the idea of the attackers bringing a Finca is just for her heartbeats gadget, but I'm quite sure if she's running the heartbeats gadget or the grenades. So, other than that, I don't quite seem to understand the pick behind Finca, but leaving that aside, we are going to be a minute and 5 seconds into the round, and I guess it's Jaeger who's trying to take down the attackers who unknowingly push from meeting. But the attackers are doing a good job droning all they could. That's going to be a mute chamber interference, and yes, the drone is going to be taken down by the mute chamber. And Zofia is going to try to peek, taking down the camera on the hallway. I'm not quite sure where Rats was positioned. He gets the kill onto Snow and almost immediately refagged by Levi there. So that's a 4v4 almost immediately. Well played by Levi, because he was able to go for the refrag almost instantaneously. That is what that is what you expect in a game of Rainbow Six Siege, because if you get that refrag almost instantaneously, then that's going to be advantageous for the team who have gone for the refrag. So might as well.
This is rather interesting. They have got full control. There is already a minute left. 4v4. We don't know which side is going to go favor the most, but looks like the defenders are holding on to their positions a pretty bit hard, and Hibarna takes down Weebster. There's no more lesion on the board, but Thermite pushes in very aggressively. He's already inside. If he wanted to, he can go for the plant. It becomes a 3v3. The crosses are set up. They are ready for it, but Jaeger comes for a flank. He's pushing into Bear slowly, but no! He gets shot by Thermite, who was mid-plant.
That was a pretty aggressive shift W by the Thermite there. He was able to take control of the side. He went for the plant, and almost, I guess, that was a bait. And he was able to take down the Jaeger who was pushing up Armory stairs. And now it's a 1v2 situation for the Valkyrie, and it's a post-plant, so she just has 30 seconds in the clock. She has to take the picks almost quickly, but she gets taken down by Sniper 1. the attackers successfully claimed the round again, and Kira Esports unfortunately weren't able to defend Kidstorm successfully yet again. So it's going to be pretty bad for Kira, as Deimos are just one round away from claiming Oregon, and the Kira Esports must make sure that they don't do any more mistakes when they go for the next round.
This is a crucial round for them because this is match point now.
To be honest, the shift W by the Thermite there got me a bit baffled. He almost got away with the pre-fire, and I was like, okay, what? Did Thermite think that he was Ash? I'm not quite sure, but the decision was favorable in his condition, I should say. A pretty unorthodox plan taken down by Thermite, but he was able to take down the Jaeger and go for the plan. He was able to stick it, push it into a post-plan situation. I'm pretty sure the defenders wouldn't have expected a plan to go down on a place like the door, right on the door of Attic, but well played. Good thinking by Thermite, I should say, and unfortunate for Jaeger, he wasn't able to get a kill onto Thermite. I don't know if he wasn't expecting the Thermite to be there, but yeah, good try by Kira Esports, but that round
the best part was Thermite was half planted. He almost got the plant down, but no, he just says, okay, I'm gonna get off the gun. Let's take off the head of Jaeger first, and then we're gonna plant comfortably.
I'm just pretty sure he had an intel, or he had a sound cue that the Jaeger was pushing up Mayfair's or
else. Like those kind of plays makes you feel like, this is Siege. This is why Siege is Siege.
To be honest, that's actually absolutely correct. And Kira Esports are shifting things up as they're going in for a basement hold. They were not able to hold Kids twice in a row, and they don't want to take their chances. I should say they seemed a bit confident with their basement hold, but yet again, Levi has left the game. Unfortunate for Deimos, as they are off the bat in a 4v5 disadvantage. Thermite losing a bit of his HP, and Amar losing a bit of his HP too, but Thermite has lost comparatively more. So on an HP and a numbers advantage, Kira has positioned himself. Unfortunate for Levi. Are we going to see a rehost next round? I'm not pretty sure. They might be calling in for a rehost, but Rats gets the kill onto Sniper One. I was almost pretty sure that Amar is going to get a kill onto the Thermite, but no, that isn't the case. That was definitely not the case, as Rats was the one who was going to get a pick. Well played by the defenders there, as the situation for the attackers are much worse, and now it's a 3v5. The Thermite taken down, and it's all in the hands of Hibana to take control of the site, to breach the hatches, to breach the entry, but Hibana won't be, to be honest, Hibana won't be able to do a good job that Thermite would be able to. So let's see what Deimos is going to be doing to counter this unfortunate situation. We're going to see a C4 throw. He's going to be sticking to the C4 in his hand. The drone comes in. They are going to be droning tower side of things. A minute and 35 seconds remaining. The attackers must play it a bit cautiously in order to take this site into their hands. They're just one round away, and Deimos, I'm not quite sure what is going to happen, but if they are able to not secure this round, then it's pretty unfortunate, because they were just one round away, and Levi had to disconnect in a situation like this, in a match point situation. So
I guess they could be stalling for time, trying to see what went wrong with Levi, trying to see if he would reconnect. Maybe they said they're not being too aggressive about it, trying to stall for time. But we have a roaming Melusi up top. Yes, Melusi is injured in Attic right now. She's unable to do much, but they know that she's injured, trying to throw up a Zofia impact. Trying to see if they can get it back. I mean, Hibana is having an engagement near main stealth, I guess. But no, everybody's still holding on to their angles. Smoke, Kaid, and Jaeger, right? Holding on to site.
Yeah, and Kaid has the sight onto the towers there, so anybody who's going to push down have to make sure that they take down the Kaid first. But Kaid takes an engagement from the blue bunker. The Ash goes in for the pre-fire onto the barricade, but almost immediately she saw the Kaid. Tries to take him down, but unfortunately Kaid is a 3-armor operator, so he is going to tank some of the bullets. Notorious gets the kill onto Rats. It's going to be a 3v4 situation, and Tsukishima going to get the kill onto Weepster. It's going to be a 2v2 now. It's all evened up for the attackers. Will they be able to take control of the side? Jaeger being taken down by the Ash.
My god!
What did we just witness?
Oh my god! They won!
This is what I was talking about. This is why Rainbow Six Siege is interesting. The attackers were at a decisive disadvantage almost from beginning of the game, the beginning of the round, but somehow they were able to turn the tables into their favor. Well played by Deimos there.
played. The pre-fire is on point. The push is on point. The timing impeccable. They pushed on synchronously, like so good. That was so very well played by Deimos, despite the man disadvantage they had. Very unfortunate for us. He didn't get to see any other player besides the guy who got downed. Athletic. That was it.
Unfortunate for Kira Esports there. I was pretty sure that it's going to be falling into their hands, and that sums up the first map, just Oregon falling into the hands of Deimos.
That was a very interesting matchup. That was very well played.